Beyond the Broom with the NSA, sharing information, innovations, and market trends shaping the commercial cleaning industry. We sweep away the noise to bring you the insights that matter.
All right, we're rolling. Welcome to the Beyond the Broom podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Lemire, along with my co-host, Debbie Wakefield. How we doing today, Debbie?
Doing great, Ryan. Looking forward to this podcast.
Yep, definitely looking forward to it. We got a special guest, Paul Greenland. He's going to be joining us today. We're going to talk about kind of his background, how he got into the, BSC world, what he's doing now, and how we can help out other companies, throughout the country. So looking forward to get started. Well, Paul, thanks for joining.
Good morning.
Appreciate you jumping on and taking some time out of your day to do our little podcast here in the NSA world. Just to get going, can you give us a little background, how you got into the commercial cleaning industry and kind of your journey to what you're doing now and kind of what that process looks like, and kind of the unique name that you have for your new business that I think is very, very cool. So
sounds wonderful. Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to be here today.
Most people in our industry know Paul.
I've been around for a little bit. As I like to say, I was born in the janitor business. I don't know if you can see this, but this is actually my birth announcement. That's me with a mop and a bucket announcing my birth. So I literally have been in the janitor business my whole life.
Awesome.
My grandfather founded our family business in 1936 as a window washing company, which is the way most of our industry started. My father took it over in the late 60s. I got involved with it in the late 80s. We were about a $2 million company then. I grew the company and ran it to about $35 million. Sold it successfully 8 years ago. Along the way, I was president of the Building Service Contractors Association, board member of the World Federation of Building Service Contractors for the last 7 or 8 years. I just cycled off, helped a couple of companies grow after I sold my business, had a couple of quick exits for some friends. And now I've partnered with my former C-suite executives at my company at Aetna, and we have a new company called Ikigai Management Consultants. That's the name you guys love.
Yes. How'd you come up with that name?
So I like to listen to books on tape when I walk. Walking helps me clear my head, it helps me think, it helps me plan, and I try and grab a good book on tape. And I found one called Ikigai, The Purpose of Life. And I'm like, oh, that sounds interesting. So I started listening to it, and it really resonated with what I wanted to do with my next career. So we created this company called Ikigai Management Consultants. Ikigai is a Japanese management principle: what the world needs, what you're good at, what you love to do, and how you can make money. And it's 4 overlapping circles, and the actual definition is the purpose of life or happiness. So we help contractors run their back of the house, which is usually the things that most facility service contractors don't care for. Nobody goes into the business and says, I want to run payroll, I want to do purchasing. No, it's I want to clean, or I want to provide services, or I want to sell. So we take that part that most business owners don't like, and we help them do better with it. In addition to that, my former C-suite team members are my partners, and we're doing fractional C-suite for contractors. Every contractor who's doing $2, $3, $4 million in our industry has a need for a high-level CEO or CFO or VP of finance or any of those jobs, but they can't afford one. But you can rent one. So we create opportunities for our clients to use us for everything from KPI management to actually running their back of the house. Heck, some of our clients, we pay our own bills. I have to call my own department and say, why haven't you paid the bills yet? Which they laugh at me, and because we get paid last. Our clients get paid first, and their customers. So that's kind of what we're doing right now. We're running about 30 different companies, everything from full service back of the house to just coaching. And it usually starts with me doing coaching. I learned long ago when I first started in the industry that everybody needs somebody to talk to, especially a CEO. They need somebody who understands their trials and their tribulations, somebody who understands that the land and the king are one, that what happens to you at home impacts you at work, and what happens at work impacts you at home. And then there's that area in between where there's a lot of turmoil. So having somebody who's been through that, and again, I grew my family business from 2 million to 35 million. We had 1,500 employees in 7 states. So it was quite a decent sized operation that kept me pretty busy. And figuring out how to balance home and work was a challenge.
Did
So, that was a lot.
That
did you have anybody, Paul, that did that for you? That was a coach or a mentor for you?
I did actually. I had several people along the way. When I first started in the business, I worked in Kansas City for a company called BG Maintenance, Ron Baker and Ron Goldsmith. They'd been around the industry forever. So they were sort of my offline mentors for 30 years. Officially, I did hire a business coach, Dana Weaver. A lot of people know Dana in the industry. I think he's running a security guard company now.
Yes.
And Dana was our coach and came to our senior leadership meetings once a month and helped us grow and plan and strategize. And having him as my sounding board for whatever crazy ideas I had was very helpful to my success. And I took what I learned and I'm applying it to my clients now. And, they call with all kinds of crazy things. I had one client call and he was very upset about his divorce. So I had to listen to him for 10 minutes about his divorce. So it impacts his business. So it's important.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think that's great. I think that's awesome that you're providing that to people too. What does the process look like when you start working with somebody?
So the process usually starts with me with an hour free phone call. I just want to find out where your pain is. I want to learn about you personally. I want to learn about your business. I want to learn about how you interact between your home life and your business life. And I really want to know where you want to go. Most people they don't plan their businesses. Okay. They plan their vacations. We plan our vacations to the nth degree. We know where we're going to eat. We know where we're going to stay. We know how we're going to get there. Very few people actually plan their business strategy. So trying to get them out of their heads to start thinking about working on their business instead of in their business is usually the first challenge. It's just to get them into a comfortable space. It takes a while for us to build rapport because they have to feel comfortable that they can tell me anything and that it's safe. Inevitably, as we start to talk, they'll have an HR issue or a finance issue or a safety issue or a sales issue. And then I'll bring one of my partners in to help with whatever they need. Oh, you want to outsource some back of the house over to India? Great. We have a whole team over in India that can do that. When I had my company, we outsourced about 40% of our back of the house: payroll, accounting, purchasing, finance, credit card processing, all kinds of crazy stuff. Or if you need EHS or you need any kind of HR, then I'll bring Val in to help with those things. If you need performance management, we have Bev, who's a performance management coach. If you need somebody to help find executives, we can do recruiting. So it really just starts with that simple conversation, and then it ends up being an onion. We peel an HR layer. There's some things to play with. We peel a finance layer. There's some things to play with. There's always stuff to do. Okay. This business is so dynamic. It's changing all the time. I mean, who would have thought that we would have survived a pandemic? I mean, it's crazy stuff.
Yeah, that's amazing. The way the past 4 years, 5 years have transitioned, and now we're transitioning to another phase of AI. So, kind of, I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but how do you see AI kind of playing a role, within not only the BSC world, but just in business in general,
Sure.
over the next 4 or 5 years?
Well, I think there's certainly parts of businesses that are going to be completely automated by AI. I think marketing, email campaign marketing, inbound marketing, website development, all that technology is going to be taken over by AI. I just saw that, I don't know, one of the big 7 technology companies just laid off 400 employees because AI replaced them. So those things are definitely coming. We're not going to be worried about cleaners aren't going to need to be worried about being replaced for quite a while. I've done lots of analysis on robots and robotic floor cleaners and all those other tools. They're close. They're starting to make sense. We need to get wages to about $20 an hour. If we get wages to $20 an hour, then robots start to make economic sense. Of course, that's before we had tariffs and repairs and maintenance and getting parts. There's a whole different set of issues with that. But until wages are at $20 an hour, it's going to be difficult to replace a human with a robot and make an economic proposition for it, if that makes sense.
Yep, absolutely. And I think, again, you kind of touched on it. It's just another tool, for people to utilize, when they look in getting their tool belt and look and see, okay,
Yeah.
what do we have here? How can we work with this? What do we have to do? there's just another option, and AI,
I
will
think
fit,
we're gonna
fill a void.
Yeah, I think we're going to see more AI type tools within the facilities that will help determine where people spend their time. Um, who knows? I think we're starting to see a lot more return to office policies. So I think occupancy is going back up. But certainly over the last 4 or 5 years, being able to know where to clean could be a very important activity for our industry. The technology's there. It just hasn't quite been super affordable yet, but it's getting better and cheaper, and we're getting better at what we do. So I think we're going to see more types of on-demand cleaning, meaning people are going to say, okay, this corner of the building is going to be used today. That corner's not. Don't clean it. So I think we're going to see some shifting of duties along the way. So I think we are going to continue to evolve. We're going to continue to change. Certainly, if the immigration issues keep driving the country the way they have been the last 6, 8 months, it's going to affect the whole country. Certainly, our industry.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I read a report, I think it came out like a month ago, and the major metropolitan city, New York, Miami, they're all seeing, I think it was pre-COVID 2019 levels of people back in the office. So that's good for everyone, depending on if you like to go work in the office, right? A lot of people get upset about that, but it's good for everyone. It's good for business. It's good for the overall economy, and I think we probably need to see more of that happening
I
throughout.
think it's definitely good for businesses. We miss the casual drop in. You walk to the coffee pot and you stop at somebody's office and you ask them that question that popped in your head. That you didn't have to schedule a meeting, you didn't have to make a phone call, you didn't have to send an email, you didn't have to wait to find them because they're at home and you're at the doctor. If you're all in the same place, you walk past each other 27 times a day. Just the natural flow of information is better.
Yep, agreed.
And we all get
Uh,
I get my energy from being around human beings. I spend most of my time like this on a Zoom call.
the great Zoom calls. It's definitely good for businesses. And especially the Zooms are good too. You're over on the West Coast, we're on the East Coast, so we're able to jump on, do a podcast, and
Absolutely.
um, be productive.
The
What
technology the technology's made it easier to do business anywhere.
Yeah, agreed.
Yes.
But Paul, talk to it a little bit. You kind of talked about how you help businesses, with the back end stuff, being an emotional support. It's kind of behavioral economics, right? To a certain extent, you're building the relationships. What are some of your target sizes as far as the companies that you're working with?
That's a great question. As we've really only been Ikigai for really just for this year, we've been playing around with what is our best size customer, which customers can use us the most, which have the resources and the need and the desire. We sort of see at about $3 million of revenue. That's where they start to have a need. That's where they've come out of the ether of being a mom and pop. Okay, they're not out cleaning toilets every night themselves. They're probably managing a team who are cleaning toilets. So if you're able to manage a team, then you start to have time to focus on your business as opposed to in your business. When you're small and you're just starting out, you're grinding and you're just doing too much stuff. When you get to about 3 million or so, and again, that's going to depend upon where you're on the country, because 3 million in West Virginia is a whole lot more than 3 million in San Francisco. Wages. Um, but once you get to that point, you start to have a need for better financial information. Once you get over 50 employees, you open a whole new cadre of HR issues with EEOC and state law and federal law. So being able to know when you get to that point. So that's when people really start to have a need. That's when they start to want to look at structure. That's when they start to think, oh, do we need to hire an ops manager? Do we need to hire a salesperson? Um, I've sort of taken a page out of the BSCAI's Plateaus of Growth seminar that they put on, which is the 1, 3, 5, 10 million and above, the different plateaus that you go through. And they're really true. Now, they're not exactly true at 1 million, a 3 million. It really depends upon your customer base and your employee base, but they're pretty true for the most part. So we try and fill in the needs as you're transitioning from one size to the next, and you just don't know what you're doing. Nothing wrong with not knowing what you're doing. What's wrong is not being able to ask somebody for help and to help them
Exactly.
figure out where to go with it. And some of our clients we've had for, my folks have been running back of the house for some of our clients for 7 years. and they don't have any intention of changing. First one had an HR issue where her HR director walked out and she didn't know what to do. Well, I brought Val in, and Val and her team, we were still separate companies at that point. She took over the HR department, saved the client about $20 or $30,000 a year versus having her own full-time person, increased the level of service, created all kinds of wonderful opportunities, and then spent the next 4 years training their incumbent person skill set to go up. And as that person's skill set went up, our engagement came down. So we're fine with helping our clients do better and then moving on to the next thing. We're not going to be the end all be all for everybody. I don't expect to be doing this for $100 million companies, although we could. That's just scalability. There's no difference.
Yeah, and that makes sense. Um, yeah, the key point is if you don't know, a lot of folks they won't ask they won't reach out for help. So that's a major hurdle for a lot of folks once they say, hey, you know what? I can't do this on my own. I need to reach out to someone and get some assistance. So that's awesome.
Which is why it really starts with the coaching and building that comfort zone and getting them to the point where they're willing to tell me their baby's ugly. Because all of our babies are ugly. Every business has ugly pieces to it. Every business can get better. I don't care if you're a 99 out of 100, you can still get better. You may not want to spend the amount of money to go from 99 to 100, but I wouldn't say we have a lot of 99s in our industry. We've got a lot of great companies that want to get better, and that's what we're here to do. And I like
Perfect.
to tell the joke or the story of, if you've ever been on a boat, and if you get on a boat and it says you want to go, I don't know boating, but if you're going to go 1 degree north forever and you've got a place you want to get to, that's great. But if you're off by a half a degree, you may not notice it for a period of time, but eventually you're going to be way far away from your target. So it's all about making small incremental improvements and keeping that target in mind. It's okay to move around a little bit. You don't have to, nothing in business is a straight line, but we at least need to know where we need to get. If we know where we need to get and we can call our baby ugly along the way, then we can continue to improve it and we can continue to get better. And that's how we've driven this industry. When I first started, we were cleaning buildings at 2,000 and 2,500 square feet an hour. We're cleaning buildings at 9,000 square feet an hour today. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, that's
We
tremendous
just got
growth.
better.
Yep, better. The technology got better. The process got better.
Mhm.
So that's great. What as far as we kind of know some of those back end services. What are some new services that you're rolling out to kind of fit the needs of today's you know business person?
Uh,
Uh,
Right now, it seems most of our clients are struggling with growth. Combination of when do we hire salespeople? How do we compensate salespeople? What kind of targets do we set for salespeople? So we're helping a lot of companies with performance management on the side of how they're putting their sales teams together, making sure that they're incentivizing the behavior that they want. For instance, some companies just have a generic sales commission plan. You sell a job, you get a commission. But not every job is the same. Some jobs are better. They're more our type of client, or they have a better margin on them. Why should we incentivize our salespeople to go sell the type of business that we want? Bigger, owner occupied, higher margins. So we do create opportunities within the sales commission to incentivize the behavior. You go sell a manufacturing plant that's a $500,000 with a really nice margin, you're going to get paid better. You go sell a small third party managed multi-tenant building with low margins, your commission may not be very good. So helping companies structure that's been really fun and exciting. And along those lines, we've started a new process where we are doing email campaigns for marketing for clients and telemarketing campaigns. What we've seen in our industry and others is you've got these companies that do email campaigns and they send out as many emails as you want to whatever targeted audience that you want. And then supposedly your salesperson's supposed to follow up. But there seems to be a big disconnectivity between the email campaign and the salesperson who's actually making the call. Then you've got these other companies that are doing telemarketing campaigns. Hi, do you know about NSA? Can I set an appointment for you to talk to Debbie? Whatever the case may be. And those guys aren't really, I've just not seen them be that efficient. Okay. They get some appointments, but they're rewarded on getting appointments, not quality appointments. They're rewarded on appointments. So we've now taken the two processes where we manage the email campaign with the client using an AI tool actually called Apollo to very much focus on your exact targeted audience. We set up an email cadence. We connect that with a telemarketing company that we're working with in the Philippines. It's very inexpensive. And they follow up based upon who opens emails, who clicks on emails, who asks for more information, and they appointment set. We're having a lot of success with this for our clients. Now, we're not selling millions and millions of dollars for our clients, but we're getting them to the door. We're getting them meetings that they weren't getting otherwise. Sales has become so challenging. I did a webinar for BSCAI a couple of months ago about selling to different markets and different generations. We have 5 generations in the workforce today. Some people want to be reached out by text message, some by snail mail, some like real human being contact. So it becomes death by 1,000 cuts in the sales and marketing world. We have to be trying everything: email, phone calls, personal visits, sponsorships, a little bit of everything. Nothing works like it used to. COVID has changed all of that. 80% of probably most of our meetings now are on Zoom. Very rarely do we even go to our client's place. Not us, but I mean, in the janitor world, we're doing things on Zoom.
Yep. Yeah, and I think that's across the board for a lot of major industries.
Yeah.
Um,
So having all these different marketing tools has been really exciting for our clients. We're getting a lot of success with it. We've got our first company. We're going to take the process that we were doing for sourcing janitor accounts. We're now going to flip it to a merger and acquisition where we're going to market for clients looking for companies to buy. So we're going to use a combination of our email campaign, our telemarketing campaign, just to get opportunities. And sometimes these things take time. Nobody says they're for sale.
let let me know if let me know if they are. That's great.
Everybody will be.
Yeah, eventually.
More business owners turned 65 last year, than at any point in time. So we're going to see an awful lot of businesses buying and selling coming up.
Yep, I agree, and I was gonna say none of us are getting younger. We're all getting older, and there's a new, the generation behind us is coming up. So um, it's going to be interesting to see how they utilize all the tools and knowledge from the previous generation
Oh,
to kind of build.
they're so far technologically advanced compared to us, and they're so connected. It's just a very different world. That's one of the things I love about our industry. When I first started, it was a bunch of old white men who owned the janitor companies. Now ownership is reflecting employment. So we're seeing women and Hispanics and African Americans. The industry's just changed, and it's wonderful to see the leadership in these companies look just like the employee base. It's really fun to watch.
Yep. Well, that's awesome. If someone, you have something, Debbie?
Yeah. How do they get in touch with you, Paul, if somebody's interested?
It's really easy. It's Paul at Ikigai MC, IKIGAIMC.com.
Ikigai.
Consultants. Or you can just find me on LinkedIn or through BSCAI or any of those other fun things. We're around.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for taking time to join us today. A lot of great information, a lot of great takeaways, and I think what you're doing is great for people in our industry. I can tell you, my husband and I had a small BSC years ago, and it would have been great to have somebody to help us get over the hump because it was a struggle to do that. So I love that you're doing that.
Thank you. I remember what a pain in the rear it was for me to worry about it. I wasn't an accounting guy, but I had to hire some good people to take care of it. We're just trying to do that for other companies as well. But I appreciate the opportunity to be here today, Ryan and Debbie. It's wonderful to catch up.
Well, we
Absolutely.
appreciate it. Have a great rest of the week. And if anyone out there wants to reach out to Paul, look for his contact information or reach out to Debbie and myself, and we can get you connected as well.
Sounds great. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate the opportunity today.
Yep. Take care.
Thanks, Paul. Bye-bye.
Beyond the broom.